is new parts day. So my taillights probably look alright from the distance you guys are at right now, but once you get a little bit closer, you can see there's actually some scratches and some imperfections on them, and that's largely because one of the people that mishandled my car long ago, long drama that's on the forums, when I got my car back, they dumped everything in the car, and once we find everything, screws and stuff had scratched it, and sadly, I mean, it's fair, but it could be better. And unfortunately, one of our longtime members have left the community. He sold his car, and I managed to buy some brand new parts. And part of the package deal was, if I buy the taillights, I gotta buy the corners. So now I'm gonna have vetted corners and some brand new taillights. I know there were some of the last that they had in stock. I don't know if you can get them anymore, but let's go ahead and check out the difference between the two. So you can see up close, I mean, they're not horrible for being 20 plus years old, but it's not great. And you can see here there's little minor scratches here and there. This part has a bit more scratching, but what I really noticed once you get these new lenses up here is exactly how much darker they are. It's amazing how much they've lost their color over the years of being in the sun and just being washed and all that. So it'll be cool to have that. And then the corner lenses, you can see here. Now one thing, and this is a pet peeve for some people, you've got red here, orange, and red. And what this will do is it'll make it orange all the way across in the corners. So it'll kind of add a little bit of uniformity to the overall look here. Plus, it gives you a cool little detail on the end. Now, unfortunately, the center section is way too expensive from the dealer. We're talking like $450 from the dealer, maybe $430, something like that. Either way, it's too much money. And this is not going to mesh as well. We'll have these nice new tails, but then we'll have this sort of faded, scratched up area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to sand it a little bit, and I'm going to take some nightshade and give it a coat to sort of give a uniformity to it and maybe hide some of these scratches. And it still won't be perfect, but it'll go with the new tails a little bit better, and it'll be fine until maybe I find a car that's being parted out or something to find a better one of these to maybe refinish. So just an example, so I took this piece of colored plastic and I gave it a little coat of the nightshade just to see how much it changed it. And you can see here where it gave it a little bit of a darker hue. And I think maybe after 4 or 5 coats and a little bit of sanding, that'll be sufficient. So I'm going to go ahead and get these old ones out, put the new ones in, and then we can work on getting the coat on the center section. And with everything out here, you can see the taillights compared to each other. And here you can see sort of some of the scratches in this. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come through here and try to smooth it out with some sandpaper, and when we come back over it with that coat, hopefully it'll kind of unify the discoloration caused by the scratches. And they still may be sort of present if you feel it, but hopefully they won't be visible. So we got the taillights installed. It really wasn't that bad. We had the one bolt here and the 2 in the corner. And other than that, so we've got the new corner lens. These look excellent now that they're brand new. The only thing is, this did not work out as planned. So on the new taillights, you can see this nice black outline that they have on here. It's sort of a translucent, but it's fairly opaque compared to how my previous ones were. And this was supposed to match. And what happened was I'd added the nightshade, and what it did is it made it matte. So I added a clear coat that didn't mesh well at all. So I ended up having to strip it, and I used orbital sander and a buffer, and I had pulled that all back. But I believe I may have taken one more layer than I should have, because this has a little bit more red of a tint than it had originally. Some of the scratches are less apparent, though you can see some swirl scratches in here after I've done it. So what's going to end up happening until I find a better one of these, I'm probably just going to paint it gloss black. It'll go with this better, and I think it'll just look better overall with the car. I don't care for the sort of red hue that this has now. My mistake, I didn't know better. It's not a huge deal, but it is something I do want to rectify. In addition to that, I noticed that I had a couple bulbs out, and so I put some LED tails in there, and the reason I went with these is because they guarantee no error code. And I was reading on the forums when I was looking which ones to buy,
that there were error codes being produced because there's a voltage difference. So I guess these have something in them to make them different. I will note about this, I had the Sylvia Superstar, whatever they're called. These are just a hair brighter than those. So don't expect them to illuminate far greater. It was an okay purchase. The only advantage really is that these I don't expect to go out anytime soon.
So overall with the results, this not so great. I'll rectify that though. Taillight's excellent. I do like the corners. I think in the future I'm going to try to do a little mod to hold the taillight bulb. I did keep that in there, but I don't like how it illuminates because it doesn't get a good direction. So I'll mess with that later once I have a solution. I'll do a video on it. So anyway, we got some more projects coming out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.